even the negative comment is a miracle because they give me content to create. There's no way, you know what I mean, that you can make that much money off one deal. Okay, how do I actually make this video show them how I make this much money off of one deal? And then what's the hook for that?
As much as you can quantify, do it. People love numbers. You just got to make it big for them to want to really intake it.
And the key is you got to...
Welcome back to another episode of the Wealthy Creator Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Berry, and today I got somebody on that really doesn't need any introduction. You all are going to recognize him. You're going to know him as soon as you see him. He's incredible, man. We're at WealthCon, January in 24. And I mean, I watched this dude just crush the stage. The energy is unbelievable. I had the opportunity for speaking for the first time on this one. And so I'm going to steal some of his vibe and some of his inspiration from what he did. So I introduce to you all Thach. What's up, my guy?
What's up, everybody out there? What's going on, my brother? What's going on?
Yes, sir, man.
I love doing this kind of stuff, like impromptu.
Yeah.
Let's hit it. No script. Let's go.
Yeah, dude. This is awesome, dude. Like I said, we're here at the event. 1,100 people came out, and a lot of them came to hear you.
Yes.
We had Tebow here. A lot of them came to hear Tebow.
Yep.
But what you all did yesterday, man, really leaving people with a lot of actionable steps to take on.
That's nice, bro.
I was, it's funny. Just a quick story. I started with Ryan when he decided to start his podcast, the Ryan Pineda Show. And I know you probably don't remember, but the first 10 episodes is when I started. He gave me a drive with all those episodes on it and said, I need them in a week.
Wow. And
at the time, I'm like, I'm an editor, but I ain't like that, right? I don't got all that. But I knew that there was opportunity to grow with him because of all that he was doing.
Right.
And not too long after that, you came on the podcast, and you were like one of the first ones that I sat in and switched.
Yes.
All right. And you gave up so much game. You all can find that podcast still on the Wealthy Way on YouTube. But I really just appreciate you offering so much of your story, getting vulnerable, and sharing all of those things.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit just about on the content creator side.
Yes.
How you started to develop the courage to give out your story and tell everybody.
It's crazy, man. First of all, social media, the whole thing, I'm 53 years old, and I started TikTok, Instagram 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And at 49, 53, or 49 or 50, most people at that age, they ain't trying to shake their ass up there, dance, dancing with all the new trend.
Yeah.
But I had a young cat named Loren. He's like you.
Okay.
Right? He's 23. He's like, man, let me intern. Let me do it. Let me do it for you. Let me edit it for you. Let me shoot it. Wow. You just do your thing.
Yeah.
And so I would just share my stories and my tips and my lesson. And what happened for me, bro, is that when I was younger, I went to a lot of self-development program. My good friend, Matthew Ferry, introduced me to a lot of stuff like, landmark forums and all this stuff. And in the landmark forum, they said, if you really want to empower people, don't tell them, share.
Yeah. And
so they said the best thing to do, and Matthew always tell me, is just share your story. That's good. If you just share your story and the journey you've been on. But the key thing is, if you're going to share the wins, also let the people know about the losses. Because then you're being real authentic about, who you are and your journey. You can't just share the good. Share the losses, right? And I was like, okay. And when I first got exposed to this idea, I didn't like sharing the losses because I didn't want to look bad.
Yeah.
But it's interesting when people share the losses, more people actually relate more than the wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so true.
Right?
It's so true. Sharing, again, more people can relate to you sharing about your losses.
Yes.
And your come up.
Yes.
Way more than they can relate you riding around in your Rolls Royce.
100%, bro.
There's way less people doing that.
Yeah. And they can't relate to that yet because they haven't experienced the Rolls Royce lifestyle.
Exactly.
But they have experienced losing their parents.
Yeah.
Their experience, someone said to me, I used to go door knocking, go learn how to speak English before you come knocking on my door.
Yeah.
And the minority, they understand what I'm talking about when I say that,
exactly.
Right? Just all the different loss, right? Everyone can relate to that. Even the multi-millionaire can relate to that.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, 1,000.
And so today, man, I'm a storyteller today.
Yeah, that's good.
So when people ask me to come speak, I just go tell my story. And I take bits of my life from the time I left Vietnam until I am today, this real estate guy, this social media guy.
Yeah.
And then depending who I'm going to be speaking at or where I'm speaking at, who's going to be there, then I will take certain parts and I will highlight certain parts for them. And, you know, when I knew people here, you know, are mostly investors, I want to share with them how they can be an investor and create abundance. But I really want them to hear my core value this time.
Good. That's good.
Right? How do you become an investor, make a lot of money, but still have balance?
Yeah.
Still keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's so good. And you said, I want to touch on so much of what you just said, man. But like the first thing people that were here saw it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times you shared it on your platform, but you posted a picture of your house that you came up in.
Yes.
So that house looked just like my granny's house.
Ooh wee.
And so when I saw it, I was like, man, her house is remodeled now, so it doesn't look like that anymore.
Right.
Still a small house,
Yes.
but I was like, so many people who find success like yourself have come from something like that.
Bro, especially if you came from nothing.
Yeah. And it's the hunger.
Yes.
Right? And it's the hunger. And I think that's why those stories are so valuable.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter your starting point.
No. It don't matter where you're on the journey.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody can relate to an ugly house because they all been there.
I've been there.
And I think I share that house because I want people to see a couple of things. One, I started at zero just like you.
Yeah.
Then two, you know, if I can make it from there to where here, you can too. You know what I mean? And no matter where you at, you can be at somewhere having 5 meals, you can relate to that story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that house, man. I had one of those. My grandma had one of those. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we even get, I'm going to dive in a little bit to your content creation.
Yep.
That you know,
I'm rolling with you, bro. I'm rolling with you, bro.
You consistently put out content, man. And it's like, I want to get some strategies and stuff that you do behind what it is that you do.
Yes.
But even before that, can you tell the people a little bit of that story of your successes? I want them to hear like how well you're doing, all the things you've been able to accomplish. Yeah.
So for a lot of you guys don't know, you know, I was born in Vietnam in 1970. During the Vietnam War in 75 and all that, I was 5 years old. My dad worked for the U.S. military.
Okay.
And so the U.S. troop decided to pull out of Vietnam. If anybody followed the war, you know. And my dad's boss says, you guys should leave with us. Otherwise, you're going to get murdered.
Wow.
And so my dad called home and told my mom, there was 4 brothers, and my mom was pregnant with my sister. I'm 5. Hey, pack your bags. I'm coming home to get you guys. We're going to fly out. We're going to go with the U.S. Army. And we're going to go out. And we're going to fly out of the country. 29, 34, bro, my parents. Can you imagine that?
Man, no.
4 kids. Like,
No.
we going where?
Right.
So we landed in San Diego, lived in a shelter there. Then we got moved up to Seattle, Washington, lived in a shelter there. But I started, bro, just like anybody. They all can relate. You know, I started from zero. We had food stamps. Went to the food bank, getting, you know, food, getting big ass box of cereal, getting big block of cheese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody been there, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the cheese that don't melt.
Right? They'll never melt, even in the hot degrees, right?
Don't melt.
Right? And so I've been through all that. I graduated from high school in 88. And unfortunately for me, I was smart, but I was hanging out with a lot of friends in my senior year, and I graduated with like a 2.8 GPA.
Okay.
And I got lost on what I want to do. So when I graduated, I decided to go follow my older brother's footstep to get aviation airplane degree. I didn't like that too much, and I got started in real estate by accident.
Really?
By accident, bro.
Tell me about that.
I was sitting at a Chinese restaurant, and my friend was studying for a real estate license. She's like, you should do real estate with me. You got a mouthpiece. I think you do good at it. You got the personality for it.
Yeah.
And she was like, you can make 7% commission. Now that's how I was working a Safeway bag and groceries. You know what I mean? I was like,
it sound good to you, huh?
man, shit, I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got my license at 21 years old, but the first 3 years, I wouldn't do nothing. I was 21. Who gonna buy a house for me?
Right.
I met this mentor at 24. He's like, Mike Fair, he's like, man, y'all gotta be active. You can either sit around waiting for business to come, or you can get out there, door knock. And I used to door like 100 doors a day, bro, 5 days a week for 10 years straight.
Wow.
In Seattle rain.
Wow.
And so I made success. I started making money, and I became a top agent nationwide for years. I'm making $750 $1 million a year in my early 20, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Yeah.
And then I met this mentor who says, go out there and park your money early so you can actually get this compound appreciation what I was talking about on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the fast forward, I bought my first rental in 97.
Okay.
105,000, 5% down. Today's worth 750. It's free and clear.
Still have it.
Still have it.
Wow.
And today, when you fast forward today, you know, I done everything. I done single family home. I bought fixer upper. I wholesale. I flip. I built single family luxury home. I built multi-unit. I built apartment building. But after doing all that, syndicate, I did all that. And then I found my niche, you know, probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
And my niche is, you know, like I talked about my core value. I want abundance, but I want simplicity. And I want balance in my life now.
That's good. Yeah.
I'm in my 40s. I don't wanna do this. I wanna do it right.
Yeah.
Because my mentor said from 40 to 50, you gotta do it right. If you wanna really set yourself up by 50. And so for me, what I found out was I wanna do single family home in Seattle and a lot of cities now, they do ADUs. If I built those and buy those, I'm keeping them. I ain't selling them.
Oh, okay.
Then I build multifamily from scratch. Then I build micro apartment from scratch. And I keep all of it.
Wow.
And I've been doing that now for the last 10 years, really heavy.
Yeah.
And then compound appreciation. In Seattle, we get anywhere between 7% annually.
Okay.
So my real estate just compound because it's a high appreciation, high price point area more than cash flow.
Gotcha.
So today, started from zero, bro. We got $100 million, you know what I mean? Real estate.
100 mil. Y'all heard him
100 mil,
too.
bro.
It's 100 mil.
Okay. From zero, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No investor, no syndication, just all mine.
Yeah.
You know, over 250 doors. And I'm still buying.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it this time now, not trying to compete or try to be like a Jones who has 1,000 door. I know the right deal and I'm more in the quantity. I'm in the quality than quantity now.
Right. Yeah. You're understanding it. And I think that's what happens through time.
Yes.
Like I know,
especially when you get into the 50,
You're zero to
whole nother level of maturity.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know how it is. Like there's a lot of story between that 0 to 100 million. There's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of successes. There's a lot that you can tell. And I know it. You don't have to today, but I know that that's how that works.
100%. That's why most of my story on stage was about all the tipping points.
Yeah.
Not even all, just some of them.
Yeah.
That really got me where I'm at. And that's why I said yesterday on the stage, those are all miracles, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And I shared that morning. I told the audience because I specifically was talking content, but I led with all of the objections that I get when I coach.
Yes.
Like, here are all your excuses. I'm about to lay them all out in front of you because I know all of you have said it before.
Yeah.
But the goal was to let them know that success in general is just, it's delayed gratification for what you're putting in.
True success.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You want the little quick sprint kind of success, but you really want true, long, big, giant wealth.
Right.
It's delayed gratification.
Yeah. And that's just how it goes. Like you're talking about, you bought that in 97 and you still have it.
Still have it, dog.
You know what I mean? And at some point that return is going to be.
Bro, I'm about to put an ADU in the backyard.
See?
And that thing about to take it to another level. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
Right?
That's amazing, man. So, going even from that, right?
Yes.
You're $100 million guy, man. I should check your pockets. But no, just joking. What I respect about you is that you still seem so humble.
Keep it, man. Where I came from, bro. And this is why I say when you get into the 50s, you have a whole different level of perspective, right? If you really been growing yourself mentally, spiritually also, it ain't even about me no more, bro.
Yeah.
That's why on stage, I say my vision today is inspire and empower billions of people to reach for their goals and dreams, see anything is possible through my own life story.
Yeah.
So really what I found out for me in my 40 to 50 is I'm just here as an instrument to be used to the fullest.
That's good. That's so good.
That's why today I don't even let the 100 mil. It's just like a number. But really who I am today, bro, is here to uplift everyone in my presence.
Yeah. Yeah. You're at a phase of serving.
Yeah.
And
I crossed over it, bro.
Yeah.
There's a line on the sand.
Yeah.
This line over here is all about us.
Yeah.
On the other side of the line, it's about others.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have so much impact. And Ryan's actually on stage right now talking about legacy.
Nice.
And there's nothing more than I want for my legacy than to be known as an individual that helped people.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's way more than, that guy was rich and said, blah, 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 blah. Right? If you ain't got that legacy, like you made an impact more than how you had brought in.
Yeah.
All you are known for rich and maybe even behind that an asshole.
Right.
You know what I mean? A selfish asshole.
That's it. Because you can't take that 100 million with you.
No.
You go,
and then if you didn't do a good job training your kid how to manage your money, they're going to blow your money when you did anyways.
That's it. It's going to be all gone.
All gone.
All work for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you balance that though? How do you balance the work life to the personal and family life?
I learned it from yesterday talk. I learned from mistakes. Mm-hmm. I always say, man, we can make our own mistake or we can learn from other people's mistake. I learned a lot. That's why I say from 0 to 100 mil, right? I made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
That's why today, when I teach people the wins, but I really teach them the mistakes. Mm-hmm. So what I realized, work life and family life, when my dad passed away from cancer, like I said on stage, I learned a bunch of things. Life is too short.
Yeah.
Chasing after all this money, and then you forget about, what's important in your life, spending time with people. That's what's more important.
Absolutely.
And I also realize, right, time is limited.
Yeah. It's the one thing you can't get back.
You can't. And then balance. I learned from my dad when he passed away from cancer, because I was in balance, spending more time making money, a little bit less on what's important.
Yeah, what really means something to you.
So when my dad passed, one of the core values that really came to the surface is balance.
Okay.
And so today, when someone asks me to speak at an event, someone asks me to partner, someone asks me to do a project, somebody asks me to do anything, I always ask myself, is this going to give me abundance? Is this going to give me balance? Is this going to be simple? Is this going to be complex? Is this going to give me freedom and joy? Yeah. Is this going to give me peace of mind? If it doesn't, I say no.
Yeah.
And that's how I balance work and personal.
That's so good. I hope we were able to give that to you while you were here this
That's
week.
why I said yes, bro.
Yeah, that's
right?
awesome.
That's why I say yes to come here. Because, I want to speak maybe 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Right? And I get asked about probably 20 times a year.
Yeah, you get to choose. Yeah, you can make that choice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And one thing you said too, you talked about learning from your mistakes.
Yes.
And I just want to say, like, for everybody that's listening and everybody that's watching this, I heard somebody say before that intelligent people learn from their mistakes.
Yes, sir.
But wise people learn from the mistakes of others.
Yes, sir.
So if you can hear what this man has teaching and what he's telling you and what he's showing you on his content, don't go make the same mistake.
None. I ran into this. Hey, listen, I ran into this cat last night, bro, at the event. He said, Thach, man, I got to confess, bro. I said, what's up? Remember I met you a year ago, you told me not to buy that property and not to do that and that over there in Atlanta. I was like, yeah, you know what? I did the opposite of what you told me, bro. I bought it. And guess what? 2 years of hell.
Yeah. It just hard head, right?
Hard head.
Didn't want to learn from.
And hopefully, if you're watching this, that you learn from that, because you have to go through it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't learn from me.
Yep.
You have to learn it for yourself, and I hope you learn it for yourself. But here's the thing I want to add to this. Whatever you guys go through, either you learn it from others or you learn it from yourself. The key is ask yourself, what did you learn from this? So you don't repeat the mistake again.
That's so good. So good. So good. I got to ask you too, because this just came on my mind, right? Like, and for those of you that are not aware of Thach and all that he does, I see some videos with that car, man, and I'm watching, I'm like, oh my goodness, right? Super impressive in what you've been able to accomplish and achieve.
Yes.
But I heard, yesterday from someone that you still door knock in a Rolls Royce.
Yes, sir.
Is that real?
Bro, look.
Talk about humility.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I still got my Honda that I owned a long time ago.
Okay.
You gotta see me driving it. I called out the undercover.
Yeah.
I got Rolls Royce, Bentleys, Lambos, Ferraris, and every day I'm out creating content, and I have an area that I work. And I've already identified all the ugly houses with big lots.
Okay.
I know them because I've door knocked them for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I know the one that sold, and I know the one that's still there. And they know me when I come to their door.
Yeah, nice.
So when I'm out and about, just doing my thing, if I'm in the same neighborhood, I ain't talked to that person for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, I stop and I knock on their door. Hey, Justin, what's up, man? This is Thach. You remember me? Yeah. Listen, I was in the neighborhood. I just wanted to check in. We ain't talked for a while. So any new thoughts on when you might consider selling now?
Yeah.
So I still door knock.
That's
still,
awesome.
bro.
That's
still.
awesome, dude.
That's how I find out of my deals.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's the consistency, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing. Someone asked me the other day, bro, when I was here, you work so much. Mm-hmm. Why do you still do it?
Yeah.
Why do you still go out there door knock? Mm-hmm. And I told him, before social media, I was a real estate investor. With social media today, I'm still a real estate investor followed by social media.
Right.
But the real reason why I still door knocking because I love door knocking and finding deals and turning them into lead into deal to buy.
Yeah, passionate.
It's a passion. I'm a deal junkie.
Yeah.
I love it. I just do it because the hell am I gonna do it anyway if I'm sitting around, bro, with all this money?
Right. And that's what I tell too, like, even when people are starting to get into content, one of my questions is always about whether or not they're truly passionate about what they're going to talk about.
Yes.
Because that's the only way you stay consistent.
Yes.
And consistency is the only cheat code.
That's it.
All right. So I'm like, are you really passionate about what you're doing, or are you doing it just because you need to make the money?
My content, if you guys notice, all I'm doing is actually storytelling of what I'm doing on my journey going towards my goal.
Yeah.
And I share with people my journey, my goals, what I do, what I'm buying, my failure, and I share that. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing the same thing what I'm doing on stage. I'm just doing it on social media.
Yeah.
And then add the tips and all that to it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's get into the content a little bit and we can, I got some questions that's going to help some people as far as strategy.
Let's go.
First thing first, I got to explain at the start of the podcast, you're high energy. Was that always a thing for you, or was that something that you had to develop?
I had to develop.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Now, outside this podcast, when you and I was talking outside, I'm more just
absolutely
right?
Absolutely.
I learned from my friend Matthew Ferry. He's an NLP master.
Okay.
He says that when you're normal, you're not talking outside.
Yeah.
But if you're ever gonna cold call someone or door knock someone, you have to bring it up 2 or 3 notch. Mm-hmm. Because when it transmits through the microphone to the other end, if you talk normal, by the time we get to the other end, it's like this. It's about $2, right?
So you thought you had energy.
Right, you thought.
You did it, yeah.
So what happened, he said, if you're ever gonna cold call people, you gotta bring it up 2 or 3 notch. Like, man, listen, you guys, all right? When I started, man, 1994, man, it was hard out there door knocking.
Yeah.
But after I realized how to master my scripts and dialogue, and I really enjoyed it, I really started to find the passion. I really like out there in door knocking, finding deal. By the time it transmits to the other end, they feel, man, I was inspiring. Yeah. But on this side, it was like, that's up like 2, 3 notch.
Right.
So by the time I get done doing speaking and podcasting, my energy, I have to go recover somewhere quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that even when you were on stage, there was a lot of inflection in your voice.
Yes.
Like you controlled it.
Yes.
And that's how you can tell, like I've been to so many events with Ryan and been doing it for so long now that it's like, I can tell those individuals that got the reps in, that have worked that out.
Bro.
Like Ed Milet was one of the ones I was like, whoa, like seeing, cause we filmed his podcast in the living room at his house.
Yes.
Right. And so hearing him on the podcast, just regular and talking and having a conversation with Ryan and how he controlled that, and then watching him do main stage in a room, I was like, okay, I get it now. I get why he's that guy that does this. But I saw the same thing with you, how you on stage.
Yes.
There were moments where it was extremely high energy.
Yes.
And then when you got to tell your story, you brought them down a little bit. And then you hit them with more energy. And then you brought them down. It's like push and pull the entire time. And I think the same applies for creating content.
100%. It's even more on camera.
Yeah.
Because they have to be able to transmit through all this. By the time they get to the other end, it has to feel like it's energy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You got to.
But we have to, like me and you right now, we got to do level 3 or 4 for them to get level 1.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to take in.
Yeah. So when you guys are making content out there, if you just monotone like this, it's normal. If you're going to do content, take it up 2 or 3 notch on camera.
Yeah.
So it comes on the other side like motivational.
Yeah. It's going to sound more natural to you.
Yeah.
But really they need that energy.
They need to.
They need it.
Yeah.
They need it. You also don't know, the part of that is because you don't know where people are when they're intaking the content.
That's right.
Right? A lot of us are watching it when we're not supposed to.
Yes.
We're supposed to be working. We're supposed to be doing something else.
That's
and we're doing that. And then a lot of people are watching it whenever there's a downtime moment.
Yes.
Right. And so you got to give them something to kind of stay for. One thing you're really good at is your hooks.
Yes.
Okay.
I realized when I started this thing, If you ain't got a strong hook, they ain't stopping the scroll.
Yeah. How do you develop that? How do you work on that? Is that something that you're like, I'm gonna do multiple hooks and see what works? Is it something where you're like, all right, what would I want to hear from myself? Like, I asked the question on stage, like, would you follow you?
Yes, that's a good question. No, we didn't know about that until we started analyzing, breaking things down.
Come on.
Right? We didn't realize, don't buy this first. Right? With the house and the car.
Okay.
We didn't know. But the views, the feedback, right, and the viral was our feedback. And we broke it down. What was it? Because there's 3 parts, right? There's hook, content, and the outro.
Outro, yep.
And we realized, how do we do on hook? How we do on content? And we're like, okay, let's do it again the same way.
Yeah.
And it worked again.
Wow.
And we realized that type of hook, right? And so the hook, we got to make sure that it's powerful and it's something that it's in your face so that people can go, what? Right? How to make $100,000 on this one deal.
That's another thing to always say. As much as you can quantify, do it.
Yes.
People love numbers.
Yes.
They love statistics.
They love it.
You just got to make it big for them
Right.
to want to really intake it.
Right. And the key is you got to make sure when you do it, you got to have passion for it, and then the cameraman got to zoom in. Right?
There y'all go. Y'all getting the game now. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about how you decide when you're creating these videos and you're doing your hooks. You got it all dialed in.
Yeah.
Right. The delivery.
Yes.
All right. So are you on all platforms or are you just on?
I'm on
specific?
7 platform.
Okay.
I drop 2 video per day on 7 platform the last 2.5 years.
Wow. And driving leads from each of them or some more than others?
When I started, I didn't even have Springboard.
Okay.
I was just throwing content because I want to just, let me backtrack. I'm going to tell you why I ended up doing it.
Yeah.
I've been asked to speak for a long time. And then at some point in my life, I realized my purpose is to inspire and empower people. And I remember we used to watch Oprah. I used to say, man, one day I want to have a TV show like Oprah.
Yeah.
Called it the Thach Show.
The Thach Show.
And I want to use that platform to inspire more people to get more reach.
Yeah.
And I didn't know until about a year ago, after we started breaking million views and everything, 1 million follower. And I realized that show is on social media. That's the Oprah Winfrey new version.
You already have it. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I realize I am Oprah, the new version,
Nice.
but my platform is duh. So now with that, I really watch people comment. Even the negative comment is a miracle.
Yeah.
Because they give me content to create.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right? Oh, there's no way, that you can make that much money, off of one deal. Okay, how do I actually make this video show them how I make this much money off of one deal? And then what's the hook for that?
Right.
And then that'll be content. Does that make sense?
You're reverse engineering.
You got it.
All right. You're taking what someone gave you.
Yes.
And backtrack
Good
on it.
and bad feedbacks.
Yeah.
Right?
And just reverse it. Right. Okay. They think they have a problem.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to solve this problem
That's
from
it.
them. How can I first get their attention?
So you said a word that basically is the key word. As a realtor, when I started,
Yeah.
I'm not a realtor. I'm just a high-paying problem solver. As an investor, buying deals, ugly houses, I'm just a high-paying problem solver.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
As a content creator, I'm just a high-paying problem solver.
Yeah.
Get it?
It's so true.
The people who's watching are crying, Thach, Justin, how do I invest? Where do I start? What do I buy? And those are all content.
Yeah. I mean, I do it all the time. I comb through Ryan's comments just to see what people are talking about.
Yeah.
And then, because what we like to do is every week we like to give topics and ideas
Yes.
for Ryan to kind
That's
of
it.
talk about. Sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't.
Yes.
That's up to him. But we like to just have something to go off of if
Yes.
we need to. And I get a lot of them from just the comments
100%.
because they're asking questions in the comments.
Yes. And sometimes even the negative is even asking questions.
It's even better because
Yes.
most of the time you're going to get more negative than positive
That's
comments
right.
anyway.
That's right. And so that's how I create my content. And then on Monday is when I shoot all my long form.
Yeah.
And then the other 4 days is a combination of going to work, looking for deals, right? And creating content.
Okay.
Because most of my content, is always on the street. You notice that?
Yeah, you're dynamic. You're out and about. And
I'm out and about. 'Cause I'm already out there doing what I would normally do, looking at deals, looking at my project, and Loren's all with me.
Yeah.
And so everywhere we go, right? But we have a list of people that have been asking. And when we're out and about looking at property, we go, oh my God, dude, this is the place we got to shoot those videos.
Yeah.
Right? Bam.
Yeah, no, I think too, like when individuals are trying to figure out how to be most efficient with creating the content, because that's another objection I talked about on Facebook. Everybody's like, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I was like, Ryan has 8 businesses. What do you mean you don't have time? He's still able to get content out sometimes 6 times a day.
That's right.
I was like, so I don't want to hear you that you don't have time. And then it's funny because I always respond with, tell me what your day looks like.
Yes.
And then I find hour after hour of them that they can have available to create something. But what's great about being efficient is that you don't have to change lifestyle to create content.
That's right.
And I tell people, stop making content and just be content.
That's it.
And that's how I view yours. Like I know that is what you would be doing, whether there's a camera on you 100%, or not.
100%, bro. 100%. You said it right there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to give you guys a tip. There is 2 type of videos that I make. One is called viral video and one is called daily videos. The daily video, I will shoot them a lot of time in my house, inside one of my new construction, or in the studio where I'm sitting or I'm just standing and I just talk.
Yeah.
Those are good content and I call them filler content.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
They're good content filler. Those usually get, 100,000, 200,000. But then there's the other video, we call them viral. And then we identify what viral video is. Every time I have a video of me and my kids, it goes viral.
Yeah.
Anytime I stand in front of an ugly house and I talk about what I'm doing with the ugly house, it goes viral. Every time I talk about don't buy this nice Ferrari first, buy the house first, it goes viral.
Yeah.
So I have a variety of those videos and then a variety of the regular. And when I post them, I mix them. If I post 2 a day, one viral, one filler, one viral, one filler, one viral, one filler. And that's how you grow.
Yeah.
If you do all fillers, it don't grow. So you got to find the viral, guys. And viral has to be outside. Can't be inside the house. Can't be inside the studio. Got to be outside. What's interesting, every time I shoot a video in front of an ugly house, it always go viral.
Yeah.
But that's what I realized. You know why? Because people want to see the ugly houses.
Yeah. I love that. And I'm actually going to people are going to hear me use the ugly house as just the term now.
Yes.
Because everybody, no matter what niche they're in, has their ugly house.
Yes.
Right? For Ryan Pineda, for example, we know that every time he talks about his watch, every time he talks about
there you go, that's a viral video.
Every time he talks about those things, so anytime we want to increase the views, increase the engagement,
that's it.
That's what we talk about.
That's it.
We know if we talk about anything political.
Yes.
People not coming to him for that.
No.
So when he does talk about it, there's a chance.
That's it.
There's clips that we do that show a more relatable Ryan Pineda.
Yes.
Where his golf swing and he's hitting into the bunker every single time. It's because more people can relate to that.
That's right.
They can relate to him hitting it 200 plus off the tee.
That's right.
Right. So it's like these are all pieces that we try to add as elements. And so I when I coach, I always go, you still got to make the broader piece of content. Everything can't be super niche and dialed in.
Problem, niche video, remember, unless you're in this space in real estate and you are interested in investing, you're the only one seeing the video.
That's it.
Outside of that, what are they talking about? What is wholesaling? You know what I mean?
Right.
So we got to do, in my opinion, right? Like a good, 60% broad, 40% niche.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, what are you seeing for the future in the content space? And do you have different plans for 2024 on what you want to do as far as your approach?
Yes. I'm ramping up my YouTube this year.
Okay.
I want to add a podcast.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
I got a book right now that I'm working on.
Okay.
I want to continue to see the little small advantage of Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, where that small little adjustment. And I'm keeping my eye and ear open and just from testing and watch other leaders doing it or hearing from them. As soon as I hear something that I'm doubling down on those.
Yeah.
because that's where you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. But right now, I want to continue to keep pumping out different viral. The good thing is this year I have so many new projects in construction. I got like 13 permits. Wow. I just got approved at the end of last year for all my ADU behind my houses.
Wow.
Right? So every one of my house, not everyone, a bunch of my single family home, all got ADU. So I got a lot of new construction coming. So I got to have a lot of good content, a lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah.
How, here's a hook. How to build, right? How I'm making, $350,000 profit off this 1,000 square foot Dadu at 6.5% interest rate.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what people want to hear.
They want to hear. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, because that's what they want, I'm going to actually show them how I'm dancing around this economy.
Yeah. Show and tell.
That's it. So I'm going to do the long version of that. I'm going to do the short version of that. And that's what I'm going to continue to keep tweaking this year.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. I wish you the best of luck with all of that. Brother. I'm extremely excited about podcasting. That's what we always push to our community is get a podcast, tell your story. I tell people like, last 90 days, we got the equivalent of 500 years of watch time.
Damn.
Right? And so what's taking a lot of people a lot of time filming and putting out shorts where you only get up to 60 seconds to make an impression.
Yes.
I have hours of time being spent with Ryan Pineda on a weekly basis.
Nice.
So podcasts are very powerful. And I know as dynamic as you are, you'll do really well at it.
Let me ask you this, bro. What's one tip that you can give me if I want to launch my podcast? What do I need to focus on?
So the big focus, I think that, and the one mistake I think a lot of podcasters are making is in their first 10 to 15 minutes. So focus on that introduction, right? Which I mean, it should be like a trailer, a highlight to a video of what's all the best parts of what you're about to do. Don't worry about giving it up early because people will wait to see it, just like a movie trailer. Okay. Right? And then deliver on the promise of the thumbnail and the title right away. So if I hook you in.
Not like YouTube. They do that to the end.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't want to do that because you're going to give them an hour plus. Right. In fact, the longer the podcast, the better.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's the watch hours. You see what I mean?
Yes.
And YouTube is going to reward you for that.
Yes.
Because you're keeping people on the platform.
That's right.
So you want to focus in on that. But if you deliver really well on that title and that thumbnail and that highlight kind of trailer at the beginning of that podcast, people will stay for as long as you got it going.
So you don't recommend doing 30-minute podcasts?
I don't recommend it. Okay. I would recommend at least an hour.
Wow.
At least an hour.
Wow.
And I know this one is going to be short. And so y'all going to be like, why is he doing what he's not recommending? But we're at an event and I don't want to hold this guy's time up because he's $100 million guy. Right. So that's why but if you have the ability to do it, like some of Ryan's podcasts go 2-3 hours. And in fact, because he's filmed so many podcasts, we'll take multiple podcasts to make a compilation video that's 4 and 5 hours long.
Damn.
And sometimes those views do better than the new podcast.
They do better on the podcast platform, or they do it better on the YouTube?
On both.
On both.
On both. Always remember that these platforms just want you to stay on their platform for as long as possible.
Any platform.
Doesn't matter how good the quality was. Like some of our compilations are him filming a home tour mixed in with a podcast. Like if it's all about wholesaling, we'll do that. Right. So you got some YouTube videos that you're gonna be able to tie in and make a compilation with your videos. So if you're out there and you don't even have a podcast yet, there's ways to create it. Damn. Right? What you did on stage.
Yes.
Release it as a podcast.
Wow.
Right. I released my solo workshop presentation. Yes. And I'm going to be releasing some of my coaching calls. Right. Right. So it's no more.
Even the call is okay, huh?
Even the calls. What? The editors will take it, create an intro for it. We'll get a good thumbnail, get a good title, and we'll just watch it go.
Damn.
And it's no more work to me. I only got to do it once. Right. I'll be talking about that same stuff anyway on the podcast. Right. So you're just giving up what you're still doing on your day to day. But I'm excited for what you're gonna do. Hopefully I get invited, man. I want to come out.
You about to exchange contact right now, dog.
It'd be tight. It'd be tight, man. But thank you for coming through.
My pleasure,
for sitting with me, man. Like I said, I'm humbled when I get in front of individuals like you that are doing such incredible things in the industry. Ryan told me, before all of this, he was like, there's a few people that I connect with, that I feel the connection with, that I look at as friends, that I trust. Right. And you were one of those individuals.
I appreciate that.
So I'm really grateful for spending this time right now. Well, be sure to follow him on all his pages. Like I said, he is not hard to find. This guy is everywhere, and you will find him if you search for him. All his links and things will be down in the description. So be sure to tap in and connect. Be sure that you're following this page. Please support us. Comment. Tell me who else you want to see on the channel. Be sure to follow us and subscribe. Leave a review on Apple, please.
Yes.
Let's get the word out. Let's continue to grow this community if you like this type of content. And I'll check you all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.